Mayor Bloomberg banned sodas over 16 ounces, and a judge this week, Milton Tingling, a brilliant judge. I think this man is a brilliant, not just because he has before the court Maher versus Trump is a monkey, but, you know, I am for overturning this ban. You know, I think this is what makes liberals look bad. This is what makes liberals look like elitist bullies who think they know everything and can tell people what to do. Of course, child obesity and general obesity is a problem, but this is a very lazy way to handle it, to ban sodas over 16 ounces. Does anyone disagree with that?
I don't. I agree that it's big brotherly. It's too much in that direction. But there is this thing, and I think it connects to what Tom was talking about, which is that, you know, if I smoke a cigarette, the secondhand smoke affects you. So people think, well, that's different than soda, because if I drink a soda, you don't get fat. But in fact, when you have the obesity, the heart disease, the diabetes, that's very closely related, this, especially for disadvantaged folks, you know, that does raise the costs of healthcare throughout the society.
But everybody does something. This is what I object to. Yes, if you're a cigarette smoker, if you drink a lot of booze, those things are legal. People do coke.
And
it's not legal, but they do it. They ride motorcycles.
And
they have too much stress. You never get laid. There's a lot of reasons why you could get sick.
My point is that we tax them, and we should tax this.
We
make the worst.
We don't tax all of them.
We make the worst consequences of those behaviors inconvenient. So you can't buy Lucy cigarettes anymore. You can't buy a single cigarette anymore. You have to have enough money to buy a whole pack. Okay, that's annoying, but you know what that does? It keeps people from starting smoking because when they can only afford one cigarette. It's the same thing with, you know, not having cigarette smoking in restaurants and bars. I was so offended by that when they first did it. Not a smoker, but I thought it was outrageous that they would require that. Now I'm so happy they did that. In part because I spent a lot of time working in restaurants and bars, and I'm not dying from emphysema because of it. But also because I go out more now.
Bloomberg did that.
Bloomberg did that.
He also got rid of trans fats.
Yep.
And he also put labeling on food.
You've got more people dying of obesity this year for the first time on the planet than of hunger.
Right. It's also,
so you're going to see activities in this direction one way or the other.
There should be activities, but there's something wrong about the 7th richest person in the world lying in bed at night saying, you know what people shouldn't do? Drink too much Sprite. And I'm going to make that a law. You know, it reminds me of Newt Gingrich and all, you know, it's like, you know, it'd be great if kids cleaned up the toilets themselves at the school. You know, or it'd be fun to fuck your secretary, the moon. You know.